Welcome to Honeybee, real stories of love, lies, and betrayal, where every truth stings. Let's begin. She dropped to the kitchen floor. 1 second. She was there, gently stirring soup, softly humming that lullaby she always sang to our daughter. The next moment, her body hit the tiles like a puppet with its strings cut. Her limbs slack, lifeless. The sound of her fall was sharp, brutal, a heavy thud that shattered something deep in me. By the time we got her to the hospital, she was already out cold. Her breathing was mechanical, powered by machines. Wires snaked into her arms, a tube down her throat. The hum of those machines filled the room, louder than anything I'd ever heard. Doctors spoke in careful guesses, their words padded by lab coats and tired eyes. But it wasn't them who delivered the blow that changed everything. It was a nurse. She stopped me in the hallway, her voice shaky, eyes burning with urgency. "Please," she said, "you need to bring your daughter now." I didn't get it, but I didn't argue. I found Emma in the waiting area, her tiny hands clenched into fists. I took her hand. It was ice cold, like she'd left her warmth behind, back in that kitchen with her mother. We stepped into the ICU, and what we saw inside didn't just take my breath away. It erased it completely. There she was, my wife, pale, unmoving, a fragile frame wrapped in wires and machines. But she wasn't alone. Next to her sat a man, holding her hand, whispering her name like a broken prayer. He looked up as we walked in, and my stomach sank. I recognized him. Her co-worker, the one she occasionally grabbed lunch with. The same guy I once had a drink with at one of her office parties. The man I'd once shook hands with, and who now clutched her hand like he had the right to mourn her. Then he looked at Emma. "Stood. You're her daughter," he murmured. "No," I said, "she's mine." They say betrayal creeps in slow, a quiet rut that eats away piece by piece. But this was a detonation. Immediate. Crippling. The rest of the hour blurred into background noise. Nurses asked questions I couldn't comprehend. Emma tugged at my sleeve, asking if her mom would be okay. I kept my voice level, my face steady. But inside, something vast and cold cracked open. We'd been married 15 years. 15 years of synced calendars, early morning coffees, bedtime rituals. I was a dreamer, the builder, the provider. She was a compass, organized, gentle, full of warmth. Or so I believed. I thought about the late-night talks, our baby sleeping between us, whispered promises in the dark. I remember the time she cupped my face and said, "I'll never lie to you." And I believed her. God help me. I did. Looking back, the signs were there. Avoided eye contact. Late nights at work. The laughter that stopped the moment I walked into the room. Then, just last month, Emma discovered a note tucked into her lunchbox. A love note, sweet, intimate, but not meant for her. She thought it was a joke. I knew better. I didn't confront her. Not then. That night, after Emma went to bed, I sat in the garage, staring at the toolbox she'd given me on our 10th anniversary. To my forever, engraved in silver. That was the night I realized forever had an expiration date. So, I stopped crying, and I started preparing. I synced her iCloud to my laptop, installed discreet monitoring software, silent, invisible. I saw everything. Texts, photos, emails she thought were gone. He called her sunflower. She called him always. Always. That was our word. I tracked her locations. She wasn't going to yoga. She was going to room 409 at the Rosewood Hotel. I took pictures, collected receipts, built the file. At first, I thought she was planning to leave me for him. Then came the toxicology report. Everything flipped. She hadn't collapsed from burnout. She'd been poisoned. And it wasn't me. I dug deeper. Turned out her sunflower had a history, dark and violent. An ex-wife with a restraining order. 2 former girlfriends, both found dead from accidental overdoses. A pattern hiding in plain sight. He'd been dosing her, slowly, getting ready to erase me and start fresh with our daughter. I don't know if she knew, or chose to ignore it. But by then, it didn't matter. I had what I needed to destroy them both. I waited, let the doctors run their tests, sat quietly as they talked. Meanwhile, I met with a lawyer. Changed my will. Moved all assets into a trust under Emma's name. Froze every account. By the time she came to, 3 days later, I had already filed for full custody. A restraining order against him was in motion. Divorce paperwork was ready. But I needed one final scene, a moment of truth. So I invited them to dinner. Said I wanted closure. We met at her favorite Italian place, the same one we used to go for anniversaries. White linens, candles, familiar music. She looked drained. He looked smug. I slid a folder across the table. Before we order, I said, my voice even, you should take a look. Inside were photos of them at the hotel, screenshots of their chats, GPS logs, toxicology reports, and at the end, my custody petition. He froze. She went paperwhite. You tried to replace me, I said to her, then turned to him. And you tried to erase her. I know what you did. I added. The hospital knows. By morning, the police will too. He stumbled over denials. She turned on him instantly. Fury, betrayal, heartbreak layered together. By the time the bill came, he was gone. She wept into a napkin. The divorce was swift. I got the house, the savings, full custody. She was left with weekend visits under supervision and a lawyer's invoice. He vanished, like cowards do when exposed. She sends letters now, pleading, explaining. I don't read them. Emma's healing. She doesn't mention them anymore. And me? I've learned something. Love without truth is just performance. And I've stopped clapping. Betrayal taught me more than any teacher ever could. It taught me silence, patience, precision. No, I don't regret what I did. I regret trusting without proof. But I fixed that with time, with facts, and a final move so exact, so clean. There was no applause, only checkmate.